Creating hypotheses is a crucial part of the scientific method, allowing researchers to make informed predictions about the relationships between variables and outcomes. However, developing strong hypotheses requires careful thought and attention to detail. Mistakes in this process can result in flawed research findings and undermine the study's credibility. Below are some common pitfalls to avoid when creating hypotheses. 1. Overgeneralization. A frequent error in hypothesis creation is overgeneralizing the relationship between variables. Hypotheses should be specific and narrowly focused on a particular research question, avoiding broad generalizations. For instance, stating that all teenagers prefer pop music over classical music is an overgeneralization. A more accurate hypothesis would be a higher percentage of teenagers prefer pop music to classical music. 2. Lack of specificity. Hypotheses must be clear, concise, and specific in defining the relationship between variables. Vague or ambiguous hypotheses can cause confusion and complicate testing. Avoid unclear language or broad terms that can be interpreted in multiple ways. Clearly define the variables and the expected outcome. 3. Non-Testable Hypotheses. A hypothesis should be testable, meaning it can be proven or disproven through data collection and analysis. Avoid formulating hypotheses that are too vague or subjective to test. Ensure the hypothesis is measurable and can be operationalized into variables that can be observed or quantified. 4. Neglecting the null hypothesis. When formulating hypotheses, it is essential to consider both the alternative hypothesis, the one being tested, and the null hypothesis, the absence of an effect. Ignoring the null hypothesis can lead to biased results or misinterpretation of data. Always define and consider the null hypothesis when creating your research hypothesis. 5. Ignoring prior research. A common mistake in hypothesis formulation is overlooking existing literature and prior research on the topic. Before creating hypotheses, conduct a thorough review of the existing literature to understand what is already known and to build upon existing knowledge. Ignoring prior research can lead to redundant or uninformed hypotheses. 6. Biased assumptions. Researchers should be aware of their biases and assumptions when creating hypotheses. Biased assumptions can lead to predetermined outcomes and confirmation bias, where data is interpreted to support preconceived notions. Approach hypothesis formulation with an open mind and consider alternative explanations for the expected outcomes. Thank you for watching this video and please subscribe to our channel.